Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law through this channel. I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be looking at some proposed changes for FINRA. We're also going to be looking at a short seller who is talking MMTLP. And in terms of MMAT, we're also going to be looking at potential investigation into the board, and also finishing off by having a look at ticker symbol CCCC, also known as C4 Therapeutics, which had some tremendous news today. And before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first headline here is the Federal Reserve skips a rate hike and keeps the Fed fund rates at 5.5%. So good news for the markets. And we can see here that Powell has also stated it's not likely we will hike rates further. So that's very reassuring for the markets. And he's also saying that they are looking and thinking and talking about when it will be appropriate to cut rates. So that is certainly what the market needs right now. And if we have a look at the reaction here, we can see that US stocks saw after the Fed's dovish pivot, and the Dow Jones hit a new record high. So great news there. And we can see the Dow Jones was up 1.2% and the S&P 500 was also up 1.27%. And in other news, shout out here to Charles Gasparino, who stated, breaking news, short selling community is now panicking that the new SEC rules on short selling disclosure, which was covered on the channel earlier, will lead to a massive uptick in short squeezes, much like what happened during the early days of the meme craze. And again, if you check that out on Fox News, there should be further discussions there. And finally, shout out here to Christine Guerrero, who stated, seems production from privates might finally be rolling over. It is 7 months since their rig count started diving. So technically speaking, crude was at the bottom of a 1 year channel today, and some rebound could be incoming. So potentially good news for oil stocks if you are looking to invest. Let's now look at some proposed changes for FINRA. So shout out here to the US House Committee on Financial Services, and I believe this is from the Democrat side, who posted the current SRO model is broken. Industry controls over SRO governance means they cannot be trusted to do what is right and necessary for our nation's investors and capital market. So I would say never a truer word said there. So when we're talking about SROs here, we are specifically also talking about FINRA. So what I've also stated is that not only are SROs broke, they are corrupt, compromised and negligent. And there is significant amount of evidence there to suggest that. And the committee has also gone on to post here there is a major lack of transparency concerning how FINRA's board makes policy decisions. So they're not beating around the bush, they're getting straight into the problem, which is FINRA. For starters, the board is not subject to any of the same public disclosure, meeting and record keeping requirements that the SEC has to comply with. So the Democrats are sounding the alarm. So credit to the Democrats for speaking some of the truth here. So maybe this is because there will be an election soon, but either way, this is good news. And what I have posted here is finally somebody in an authority is seeing the complete lack of transparency in the actions of FINRA and the fact that their board is not subject to any public disclosure, and they have used the services of people like Ari Rubenstein, who has had a notorious record of breaching securities legislation. So certainly a problem that needs to be fixed. And finally, a poster from FINRA, Mr. Robert Crook has stated is that he's going to provide written testimony for today's hearing of the Capital Markets Subcommittee of the House Financial Services Committee. But I think what he also needs to do is testify on the MMTLP fiasco. So next shout out here is to Jennifer Ablan, who hosted a space earlier titled Interview with the legendary short seller Jim Chanos. So what's interesting about this space is Mr. Jim Chanos also talked about MMTLP. So he shared some of his thoughts, but what was interesting, he stated that he was not involved. So does certainly sound suspicious, so I do agree with Meta News and what this person has stated. He stated, obviously, we can see that there was a spin-off. It was private and it was turned out to be worthless, according to him, or something that people thought they were getting something of value that was worthless, and all became a great short side conspiracy involving FINRA. So it looks like he's certainly uneducated. Obviously, it's definitely not worthless, but obviously the conspiracy with regards to FINRA, I think there are many questions there to be asked. But what was also interesting in this space, there was a significant amount of community in there, and Mr. Jim Chanos has not come out smelling of roses. Let's now have a look at MMAT, and first shout out here is to Gardner Wade, who stated, "I've just read this. GP care to clarify, Jack and the BOD, or the Board of Directors, we have lost 95% in share price in 2023. Take some responsibility. We," and obviously includes him as well, "failed SHs. I warned everyone that we were being seller boxed for the last 18 months. My vote still stands. No reverse split. Product works. Go sign some deals." So again, great statement there, and what C-Plant has stated in terms of the board. So there is some action being taken against the board in terms of what has been suggested. Before we look at that, what he has stated here: "If you think we're not watching your every move, you better think again. We will not stand idly by and watch you destroy our company." And it is our company because obviously we are the shareholders. But what the security attorneys TBLF law firm have stated is that they have opened an internal investigation into whether the BOD, Board of Directors, allowed any fund that has been sanctioned, fined or faced disciplinary actions from the SEC or FINRA to participate in any of its recent fundings. So they're looking at Sabi Management solely because of it's the only fund currently being sued for securities fraud based on stock manipulation and also ties to naked short selling. And obviously we can see here a link also to MMTLP, and it's an independent investigation on behalf of several of the firm's clients that are Metamaterials shareholders as well as MMTLP shareholders. And finally, I'm going to finish off by having a look at ticker symbol CCCC, also known as C4 Therapeutics. So this was there was some news today, and this was posted in our biotech stock channel in the Discord. And you'll be able to also see that this was also a stock that was called in our daily stock alerts prior to trading earlier today. And let's have a look at what happened in terms of the chart for today. So we can see just up today at time of editing, it was up in excess of 142%. But what's also more interesting is over the previous 5 days, the stock has been going up quite significantly and is up over 346.45%, and at time of editing at a price of around about $5.67. So what's happened? So if we go to the company website, we can see here there has been a press release dated December the 12th, 2023, and the company have announced positive data from the CFT 7455 phase 1 trial in relapsed refractory multiple myeloma. So this is good news. So we can see here in terms of the key summary that it was well tolerated with a promising sign of anti-myeloma activity. They completed obviously the phase 1 of the trial, and it demonstrated anti-myeloma activity and immunotherapy effects in support of CTF 7455 in combination with novel multiple myeloma agents. So good news there. And what we can also see here is that obviously the dose and the completion of phase 1 dose escalation data is expected in 2024. So good news there for C4 Therapeutics.